Hello, my name is Jody Martin, and I am a patient of Lofta's. And I want to tell you a little bit about my story. Now, I started when, early in my marriage, I started snoring, and it was okay, and it progressively got worse. And then my wife would tell me how I would stop breathing at night, and I was like, whatever. And then it got to where I was snoring really bad, and then it progressed into one of us always having to sleep on the couch. So I decided to go get tested for sleep apnea, and I went through the traditional ways, and it was just a pain. I had to start with my primary care physician and then get sent to a sleep study lab, and then from a sleep study lab to a respiratory therapist. And after it was all said and done, the machine I had was turned up way too high. I couldn't breathe at night. It was up so high that it was filling my stomach with air. And took it back to the respiratory therapist and asked them if they could adjust it, turn it down a little bit. And they said that I would have to go get another sleep study done. And I was not about to start back on that 3-month ordeal again. So I just quit using it, put it in the corner, and never thought about it again, which was bad idea. And my sleep apnea continued to get kind of worse and worse, and ended up so that ended up moving into the spare bedroom, basically. Me and my wife would sleep in totally different bedrooms, and then, over the course of time, I hung a picture here or there. Next thing you know, I've got some clothes in the spare dresser, and basically we were living 2 separate lives together because I snored. Well, I had sleep apnea. I was tired all the time. I was cranky. I had to have a nap every day. And it progressed to the point where I was getting headaches. I would wake up with headaches. My head just pounding because I couldn't breathe in my sleep. And the depression of it all started to kick in because me and my wife really were growing further and further apart. And we've been married for 30 years, and I love her more today than I did yesterday. And us growing apart was just, it was killing both of us. And, but when you don't sleep together, and someone's always got to have a nap in the middle of the day, and I get up early and she sleeps late, and we were just living 2 separate lives in the same house. Well, it had got to the point where I really didn't know if I was going to wake up in the morning. No matter how bad my headaches got, I wouldn't take any kind of Advil PM, or if I got sick, I wouldn't take any kind of medicine that made me drowsy because I was scared that I just wouldn't wake up. Every night when I would lay down, I would, I knew in the back of my mind there was a, probably 35% chance I was not waking up in the morning. And that's how I lived. And, you can't really make long-term plans if you don't expect to be around much longer. It had got to the point where I had woke up a couple of nights, even in the bed by myself, just gasping for breath, and I knew, I was like, oh my God, something's got to be done. And I would wake up like that at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just wouldn't go back to sleep. And then, of course, during the day, I had to have a nap. And it would scare the crap out of my wife and daughters if they couldn't hear me snoring. They basically drew straws to see who was going to go check on me. Because if I ever stopped snoring, then they figured, either I found a really comfortable position or, I wasn't there anymore. And, that kind of broke my heart knowing that they, had to go in there and scared to open my bedroom door because scared they're going to find me dead in the bed. So my wife found Lofta on Facebook, and she sent it to me, and I was like, okay, whatever. There's no way. There's no way it's this simple, But I read into it, and I waited a couple days, and I thought about it. And I thought, you know what? I'll order the thing, the sleep study kit. I was real skeptical if it would work or not. Well, I ordered it. It comes in. Man, it's just this little wristwatch and a little sensor you put on your chest right here. Download the app, Bluetooth it together, and go to sleep. And I thought, there's no way. This is junk. There's no way this is going to work. It's a ripoff. Well, I do it, get up the next day. It sends a report to Lofta, and it tells you just to wait a couple of days, you'll hear from someone. Well, the next day, a representative from Lofta called me and said that basically it told me the same exact thing that they told me in my first sleep study. I was having 80 incidents a minute, or something like that, or 80 incidents an hour, and it was crazy. And she's like, you need a BiPAP machine. They prescribed me the same exact one I already had. So I knew it was legit because I knew that, they were telling me the same thing that the conventional sleep study had told me, for $187 and, sleeping comfortably in my own bed without a bunch of wires hooked to my head. So, I told them that I wanted to proceed, and they told me that a sleep study coach would call me, and crickets, didn't hear anything. And I started thinking, okay, whatever, this is a ripoff. They got me for $180, whatever. I'll just move on with my life. I started really thinking about it. I was like, well, what do they have to gain? Ripping somebody off for $180, that's not a whole lot. That's petty change comparatively. So I thought I'd give them a call. Well, I called them, and turns out that it wasn't a scam. My guy that was supposed to call me, who I got put on his schedule, got COVID because this was early 2020, and he went in the hospital, and they were playing catch up trying to call his people. So next day I got a phone call. I didn't have insurance at the time. It was not a problem for them. They offer 2 or 3 different ways to get financed to get your machine. So they sold me the machine and said it'd be there in a couple of days, set up and ready to go. So they sent it to me, and it was identical to the one that I had already purchased through the conventional methods. So my sleep study coach called me, and I said, well, I've already got a machine like this, but it doesn't work for me because it's set way too high, and there's nothing, I can't do anything with it. It's a boat anchor at this point. And she said, well, we'll get to that. And for the first time in years of this long drama, somebody asked me the one question that nobody had asked me through all the doctors and family and everything else. She said, we'll get to setting the machines up. She said, but how do you feel? How do you feel about this? What are your feelings about having sleep apnea and going through this treatment? And, how's this affected me? And, as a guy that we don't get our feelings out there a lot, and we hold a lot of stuff in, and I don't know, that question from her was just the key that unlocked the floodgates. And I just told her, I said, I feel horrible. I'm embarrassed. I hate that I have to do this, but I want to do this because I want to be able to sleep in the bed with my wife. I want to be able to know that, I've got something that's going to help protect me while I'm asleep. I want to give this a really solid try. And she said, okay. She said, then we will. And I bought the extended care package. It's minimal cost. Please buy it. Please. Because it allows you to talk with your sleep coach once a week, for as long as you need to, and figure out if you're sleeping right, if the machine's set right, if, they know all these tips to make it work that you yourself don't know. I thought that I knew what size nose and nostrils and everything else I had, but I don't. The little thing that I ordered it hurt. I couldn't stand wearing it. And I told her, I said, look, something's wrong. I can't do this. She said, okay, let's try this. Let's order you a bigger size, blah, blah, blah. She told me to put a little Vaseline around my nose, because I've got the pillows that just go in your nose, not the one that covers your whole face. Because with my, one, it's more comfortable for me, but two, with facial hair, that mask that covers your whole mouth doesn't always seal real good. So I get it. She walks me through it, and I'm like, okay, I love this thing. For the first night, the very first night, I moved everything into me and my wife's bedroom. And for the first night in years, we slept together and slept all night long together, comfortably. She wasn't elbowing me or hitting me with pillows or any of that, you know. It was a wonderful experience. My sleep coach then helped me set up my other machine, my secondary machine that I'd already purchased, to match the settings on this one. And so now I've got two, one for travel, one for home. It's been a beautiful thing. Finding Lofta was a godsend for me. It was, I had been kicked around so much by the normal way of doing things that I wasn't going to do that again. It just wasn't going to happen. Lofta was simple. It was easy. It was inexpensive. If you have insurance, they work with you. If you don't, they work with you. They try everything they can to get you the equipment you need. And anybody, and I told them this, and I'll tell y'all this, anybody can do a sleep study and get a machine. You know, in the conventional route, that's what they do. They give you the machine, here you go, good luck, this is how you use it, see you. Well, having a sleep coach that can monitor your stuff and then talk to you every week, okay, try this, okay, let's do this, this, and this, and help you get to the way that you need to sleep is an amazing thing. You may think you know how to sleep comfortably. You don't. I promise you, you don't. But they do, and they'll help you. I can't say enough about Lofta. They have actually, they saved my life. Instead of sitting around waiting to die, me and my wife bought a motorhome. We've traveled the country. You know, we can go take trips together. Our kids are grown and moved out, so we can take trips together, and I don't have to try to get 2 hotel rooms because she can't sleep in the same room as me. It's just, we've been having an amazing time since. We've grown so much closer back together. Our lives are back to what they were before. And, you know, it's not just snoring, guys. You know, especially if your partner's telling you that you're rattling the house and that you're gasping for air, you stop breathing. Please, get some help. Ask for some help. Lofta will be there for you. I'm telling you, it's worth every cent, and it's worth all the time you put into it. Because with Lofta, I mean, you don't have to put hardly any effort into doing this. I mean, it's simple. If you've been through the conventional method and think, man, I'm not doing that again, I'm with you. I wouldn't either. Just give Lofta a call. Talk to one of their sleep specialists. Be honest, you know. And when you talk to your sleep coach, if it's not working right for you, tell them. Say, hey, this ain't working. We're going to try something different. Because they will try something different with you. They will make it right. They'll make it to where you can get a good night's sleep and feel young again and refreshed and, you know, wake up and actually want to get out of the house and do things. You know, guys, I know how it is to wake up and you think, hey, I've got to get all this stuff done. And the mere thought of doing it just exhausts you to the point where you don't do anything but sit and hold a recliner to the ground and watch TV. I've been there. I've done it, you know, and I hated myself for it. And so what I do, I sit there and eat, you know. Hey, I'm 5'9" and I, you know, bullied myself into weighing 300 pounds sitting in a recliner because I didn't have the energy to get up and do anything. You know, because I never could get a good night's sleep. Please get some help. Please call Lofta. I'm sure they're going to put some phone numbers and plenty of ways to get a hold of you up on this. Again, my name's Jody. I was a United States Marine. I'm a Lofta patient, and I'm receiving no compensation for this video. I just hope that it helps somebody or inspires somebody to get some help. You know, if not Lofta, somebody. But I'm going to tell you, I've been through it. I've been through it with a couple of them. Lofta's the best. They're the easiest to work with. They're there for you. They have tons of way to get a hold of you. And the company's not as big as you think it is. If you're having a problem, you can easily ask for someone else, talk to someone else, get a second opinion, but I don't think you'll have a problem because I'm the most bullheaded person there is, and they made it work with me, and it's been a blessing, and I really thank Lofta. I think all their employees are great. My sleep coach, she knows who she is. Girl, I love you. I do. From the bottom of my heart. I really do. You're family. Well, thank y'all.